Yo, what is up, everybody? It is your boy out here, CJ the DJ, coming to you live with a brand new episode of Hustle and Burn. As always, man, appreciate y'all tuning in. It's Sunday. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Hopefully, we can end it off right, you dig? As always, guys, shout out to our sponsors, Diamond Consulting, for any general contractors out there in the Front Range, Colorado area that may need or utilize subcontractors in any different scope of work. Contact Diamond Consulting, guys. What they have is a private network of fully insured, pre-vetted subcontractors looking to grow and scale their companies, aka take on more work. So contact Diamond Consulting, guys, 720-563-7452. They actually have a happy hour event coming up Monday, March 10th, this upcoming Monday at Something Brewery in Brighton, 6 p.m. Open invite. Anyone is welcome. So stop on in, man. Have a great night. Shake some hands, meet some good faces, talk to some good people, get some good drinks, right? Appreciate y'all, man, again, tuning in. Got another great one. As always, bangers on bangers. You know how we do. But this week in the Not For Long League, let's get into it. It was big moves. Deebo Samuel trade to start off the week this week, guys. He got traded to the Washington Commanders for a 5th-round pick. Now, you know, at the end of the day, this is ridiculous because with the team that, you know, we don't mention on the pod this year, what they couldn't figure out was they just needed to give up a 5th-round pick for someone like Deebo Samuel. Slipped right by him somehow. Ridiculous. The Commanders are absolutely making moves, guys. The Commanders, they got draft picks. They got cap space, man. I've been saying it. All season I was saying it, man. The Commanders are on the cusp of something great, man. With everything that they got, they're set up very nice. I see them realistically, you know, probably hoisting a chip up in the next 2 to 5 years. I'm dead ass serious. Like the Commanders are very good, man. But that's kind of what happened to kick off the year, man. Or kick off the week, I'm sorry, I should say. Deebo Samuel out of San Francisco. San Fran looks like they're in a rebuild. They're looking to give up Ayuk. You know, I'd see potentially if they're willing to give up CMC, I'm sorry. Based on the backfield that they had last season. We'll see what they do, man. But they're clearly going to build around Brock Purdy and had to get some contracts off the books, if you will. The LA Chargers, man. The Chargers have some huge offseason buzz going on. Obviously, they took a pretty subpar, you know, for those that don't know, didn't watch the season. The Chargers took a subpar team to the playoffs, realistically. Second round of the playoffs, all right? And, you know, it's rumored that they're top suitors for, you know, 2 wide receivers. Devontae Adams is one of them. Who, in my opinion, is a very great choice for any team out there, realistically, despite what anyone thinks about Devontae Adams. The guy has hands, he runs good routes, he can get open, and he's big, period. Pause, Jesus. God, I gotta watch that. And the other big name is Chris Godwin, guys. And that's the big one for me. You know, Chris Godwin, his contract would be sizable. Based on his performance. But realistically, the Chargers have moved around some pieces. They have some more cap space after their recent moves. And, you know, Godwin's credentials are top tier in the NFL, guys. He is the best wide receiver for Tampa Bay outside of Mike Evans, right? He carried the team multiple times when Mike Evans was hurt this season. Last season, Mike Evans has obviously done the same while Godwin's been hurt. He's dealt with injury issues as well. But at the end of the day, man, realistically, if Godwin can stay healthy, he's a top 5 to 7 wide receiver in the NFL. And with Herbie throwing to him, man, you know, at the end of the day, he was a killer, bro. He was a killer with Brady there. He was a killer even with Baker throwing in the ball, right? So, like, Herbie is league-wide known as a better quarterback than Baker, so obviously that's an upgrade right there. But, you know we like to get into the stats. Let's get into the statistics on Chris Godwin, who is recognized as the number 2 wide receiver in Tampa Bay, all right, behind Mike Evans. Stats: 1,000-yard seasons, guys, in 4 of the last 6 seasons, including last year despite multiple injuries. Okay, despite multiple injuries. Again, had to do a lot with Mike Evans being out as well. But again, 1,000-yard seasons, 4 out of the last 6 years, guys. And that's him playing second fiddle to Mike Evans, who is known as Mr. 1000 around the NFL. He's going to get 1,000 yards receiving, right? Like, so it's like, yo, he's behind a guy who already has to get the targets and get 1,000 yards receiving, yet he still finds his spots. The bottom line is Chris Godwin, realistically, he can be a top number 1 wide receiver option. I think he's probably the number 1 or number 2 wide receiver in free agency. There's a boatload of wide receivers that are free agents that are on trading blocks, stuff like that. Chris Godwin, to me, is the top number 1 or number 2 wide receiver free agent this offseason. the Chargers are looking, you know, to really get him. Now, the team we don't name, the team we shall not name on this podcast this season, y'all know how we do, Raider gang, baby, Raider gang. You know, they restructured CeeDee Lamb's contract this week as well as Dak Prescott's contract, so I had to bring that up. That boosted their cap space this season, guys, to $56 million. And I ain't gonna lie, that ain't bad. That ain't bad, man. That ain't bad. That ain't bad for the team we ain't gonna name. Making a couple little moves, get some cap space. All right? Hey, it ain't bad, man. I had to put that out there. You know, they really said, you know, with 56 mil, they can grab some wide receivers in the draft, use that cap to beef up the O-line as well, the backfield, of course. You know, the running back options in the draft ain't great, but really they got room to work with, period, with 56 mil now. So, hey, shout out to the team we shall not name, making moves this week as well, man. And probably to me this week, the biggest news out of the Not For Long League, we're just kind of floating around. Because there was a lot of stuff popping out this week, guys. DK Metcalf, man, this was huge. DK Metcalf requested a trade, guys, from the Seattle Seahawks. And the reason this is so huge, in my opinion, is because this just, like, again, it's another one of those, like, it just shakes everything up within this free agency. Like I've been saying, like I've been mentioning, like, this free agency is just ridiculous. Like, the moves that are happening are absolutely crazy, man. This is really, guys, where GMs come into play. This right here, what you're seeing, this free agency, this draft, everything going on, this is GMs, bro. All right, this is where a general manager, a head of player operations, a player personnel, this is where these guys do their jobs, bro. And these guys make the money and make their money realistically, but make these teams and organizations solid. But DK Metcalf, man, he requested a trade from Seattle. Again, that shakes everything up. Now, in my opinion, the Raiders and Pete Carroll should and could make a major play here. You give DK a fat final contract, right? Like, he's not going to get too many more big contracts. I think Vegas should be the one to simply throw the book at him one more time. Go ahead. That would be huge for Vegas to have DK Metcalf, bro. He's just a threat. Like, think about when you're watching a Seahawks game, you're just like, shit, yeah, they might not be good, but better watch out for DK running up the sideline. Like, bro, the Raiders should be throwing the book at DK Metcalf, bro. It's like the Chiefs, in my opinion, look what they did this week. They're trading linemen, okay? The Chiefs are trading linemen. They're kind of stumbling a little bit. Their run might be done, for real. The Raiders got to pounce on DK, and in my opinion, they should draft Shedeur at number 6. They should draft Shedeur at number 6, man. The team we don't name, honestly, on this podcast this season is also in the mix for DK, so keep an eye out on that with that $56 million in cap space. DK down at that team. I don't know. Hey, I'm just saying, man. You know, realistically, you know, the trade value context, right? Debo went for a 5th round. His contract was about $23 million a year, right? DK Metcalf is at about $18 million average a year. So the max someone's probably going to give up for him, because it's a higher value individual for a team like the Seahawks, because his you know, cap space is so low, they want to get as much as they can in return. We're probably looking at about a 2nd to 3rd round pick for DK Metcalf. I don't see it being lower than the 3rd round. It could be. If it's 4th or 5th, that would be crazy to me. I would squeeze out everything I can if I'm the Seattle Seahawks. But realistically, the Raiders could trade that and assemble the old Seahawks for Pete Carroll, right? Trade for DK, who Pete Carroll actually drafted. They just traded for Geno Smith. That was some more big news that came out this week. Like I said, things are all over the place shaking up. The Raiders traded for Geno Smith this week. So you could trade for DK Metcalf, man. At the end of the day, reunite them guys, because you know Geno's going to need some weapons, right? Now, I do want to kind of go on a tangent with that Geno Smith pickup by the Raiders, because that kind of, to me, you know, look, man, as I don't know, man, as a previous fan of the team that we shall not name this season on the pod, and then now, you know, coming into my own, switching to the Raiders, right? Going for the Raiders this upcoming season. For me, it's like, Geno Smith? Geno? I'm like Soulja Boy with Geno? Come on, man. Geno Smith, man. Do we want to win? Do we want to win? That's how I'm kind of feeling about it. I don't know, man. Do we want to get him? I get it. He's better than most. Don't get me wrong. But, bruh, we're facing Mahomes 2 times a year. We're facing Herbie 2 times a year. Now we're facing Bo Nix 2 times a year. And you're going to go pick up Geno Smith, brother? You're going to go pick up Geno Smith, brother? I don't know. I would have drafted a QB for the future, but my name ain't Tom Brady. I didn't win 7 Super Bowls. I'd just be sitting here talking to y'all. Y'all know how it is at the end of the day. But listen to this. Conspiracy. If I'm the Raiders, okay? Because now, oh, they got Geno Smith. Everything's switching up. What's to say the Raiders don't go out and still draft a quarterback at 6? What's to say the Raiders don't go still draft a quarterback at 6? You draft Shedeur Sanders or whoever is the best quarterback on the board at the time. If you think that they are quality, if it's Shedeur, if it's that other guy, you draft them, right? You have them battle it out with Geno in mini camps. Like, for me, that's a win-win situation for the Raiders to still draft a quarterback at the number 6 pick. Because at the end of the day, you let them battle it out. They beat Geno, the rookie that you draft. Let's say Shedeur Sanders beats out Geno. Great. You got a starting quarterback, okay, a starting caliber quarterback to mentor a young quarterback, okay? Let's say they don't beat out Geno Smith. Now, you have Geno Smith, who at the end of the day is, you know, an all right option, but they weren't ready. What that tells you, if the rookie that you draft, if Shedeur Sanders can't come into the NFL and beat out Geno Smith, that tells you he's not ready to be a starter in the NFL. So that's a win in itself. Now you have him sitting behind Geno Smith, who's a subpar but quality quarterback, better than Gardner Minshew to a lot of people's points this week, right? It's an upgrade at the quarterback position. But at the end of the day, you can draft Shedeur, let him battle it out. If he beats Shedeur, okay, Shedeur wasn't ready. Now you got Geno Smith starting, and you allow Shedeur to develop behind someone who's hailed league-wide as one of the most consistent, persistent, and mental tough individuals in the NFL. And that's who Shedeur could come up for a season or half a season. You know Geno's injury-prone, so we got to have a good backup option. I think we still draft a quarterback for the Raiders at 6 and let them battle it out in camp, man. At the end of the day, you're only paying Geno Smith $14 million. And, hey, I'm just saying, man, at the end of the day, I think the Raiders should still look into, and I would be curious, my Raiders fans, to know what y'all think, and just any fans realistically, but to know what y'all think about them still drafting a quarterback at the 6th pick. I think the Raiders still may do that. It's Tom Brady, bro. He's a quarterback guy, and I don't know if Tom Brady got to the board and settled on Geno Smith. I just don't. That's just me, man. That's just me. All right, now we gonna move on, man. We gonna move on. You know, I ain't going to get too crazy into this, the NBA. Y'all know we don't really chit-chat about the NBA too much. Not too crazy of a fan, just like the Nuggets. You know how it is. But I got to give a shout-out to LeBron James and the Lakers, man. You know, I said when Luka got traded right here on the pod, I said immediately that it made them championship contenders, right? They went from a 7 seed down to a 2nd seed in the West, yo, surpassing the Nuggets. Like, come on, Nugs, what y'all got going on, man? You know, and I said to my boy, however, within them jumping up from 7 to the 2nd seed in the West, that, you know, I thought at the time Dallas had won the trade overall. Okay. I thought with the trade and everything that happened, it put them as more immediate contenders this season for a championship. But, you know, at this point, Anthony Davis goes down. Kyrie, he was playing harder due to Anthony Davis goes down, tears his ACL. Mavs are no longer a contender in any way, shape, or form. Nico Harrison is now the most hated man in the state of Texas, and goddamn, that's hard to do if your name ain't Jared Jones. Come on, Nico. But, you know, hey, I want to give a shout out to the Lakers, man. But, not so fast, Lake Show. Not so fast, Lake Show. LeBron James was caught on the sideline this week yelling at Stephen A. Smith, telling him to keep his son's name out this shit. That's what he said, keep my son's name out this shit. Because Stephen A. was talking about LeBron James Jr., who's an NBA player. Oh, no. I don't want to hear none of that shit, LeBron. I don't want to hear none of that shit. How is you going to say, my boy, that you're upset because people are talking about Bronny James? You're the one that highlighted this kid's entire career. You're the one that said that this guy would be good in the NBA, that this guy could play on the Lakers right now. You essentially forced the Lakers to draft this kid, okay? Bottom line, LeBron, so don't hate when people are criticizing his play because he's not developed and not that good. And I don't give a fuck about the G League. Anyone who's mentioned in the G League, shut up. Shut up if you're mentioned in the G League. I hope my boy Kev listens to this. Shut up about the G League. I don't want to hear about no fucking C+ players that he's playing against, averaging 25, 30. Get the fuck out of here, dude. All right, get him up on the main roster and see if he balls. If he don't ball, he's not an NBA caliber player. It's period like that, bro. It's been niggas in the G League scoring 20, 25 a year for fucking 5 years. I don't want to hear that shit. All right, but you know, LeBron James, you get the Fried Award of the Week, my boy, for those comments to Stephen A. Smith. You're a cornball. What are you doing, my guy? You're fried. You're fried. You are the one that created the media frenzy surrounding Bronny, number one, by just being you, right? But number two, by saying he was ready to play on the Lakers and forcing the Lakers to draft your son. So shut up about keep my son out of this shit. Come on, man. LeBron, you are fried, my guy. You're fried. All right? Now, on the flip side of that, actually, before we get off that, shout out to Stephen A. Smith. My guy just signed a 5-year, $100 million contract with ESPN. Sheesh. 100 M's for Stephen A, man. 100 M's. Wow. What a bad hairline can do for you. In the right places. I'm weak, man. Sheesh. Shout out to Stephen A, though, man. Let's keep it flowing, y'all. We're going to get to the investment wrap of the week, man. Y'all see the crypto. You see the market. You see everything. It's been wild, man. The markets are all volatile as hell with crypto. You know, but one thing I wanted to mention, obviously we all see the markets, everything like that going on, guys. One thing I wanted to mention, though, what's been holding steady while you see all this volatility within the crypto market? I said this a couple pods ago. USDC. USDC. All right. This is a stable coin that I've chatted about previously on the pod, guys. Go find the episode where we were talking about this. Okay. Pays a 4.1% APY no matter what the markets do. And it's liquid at all times, guys. Okay. All right. So I've been saying it again on previous episodes. This is a gem, bro. You got to catch these gems when I'm putting them out to you guys, right? Back when portfolios were fire, I told you to take profits. Now, most are I told you guys, right? Like I told you, it's the elections, everything going on. Now, most portfolios realistically have settled back down to pre-election levels, and some even lower. Like the FOMO, the fear of missing out, hit hard for a lot of people, even me, right? Like I'm like, oh, crypto, we got to get into this. You got to be in for blah, 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 right? But USDC is a stable coin, and it's always 1-to-1 with the US dollar, right? And anyone who's thinking the US dollar is going to crash is clueless. To what actually the world is. It's the world's currency. So it's not, the US dollar is not going to crash. Bottom line at the end of the day, right? But again, guys, with USDC, it has stayed the exact same because it is 1-to-1. So while Bitcoin's down 10, 20%, while all the markets are down 5, 10, 20%, they're all retracing. Guess what USDC and your money in USDC is doing? Staying the exact same and just growing money. If you put, for example, guys, 5K in USDC on January 20th, which is when crypto actually started dipping. January 20th is when crypto started dipping, okay? Right now, that $5,000 you invested would be $5,030. Now, that's $30 in 47 days, guys, by just sitting there, okay? That beats 6 to 12 month certificate of deposits for a lot of people. Believe me, I see it, right? Like, at the end of the day, that's $30 you made in 47 days. Didn't matter what the markets were doing. So again, if you want to dip your toes and dabble your toes into, you know, a stable coin or the crypto markets, if you will, set up a Coinbase account, get some USDC. It's 4.1% APY off the funds you have in there, and it's liquid at all times to send to your bank, no fees. So why not do it? Why not do it? At the end of the day, let your money make you money, man. As these markets continue to go crazy, put some safe money away. We got to have safe money, but don't keep it in a bank account making you 0.10% or some nonsense, or even 0%, right? What's the point of it? Put it in something that's going to make and earn you the most money. So while you're sleeping, your money's going out and bringing back more money for you. That's what y'all got to do. That's the investment wrap of the week, man. You know, this week was definitely a tough week. For me, fam. Hard times are definitely hitting me this week. You know, and a lot of times when that happens, like, the only thing to do is look yourself in the mirror and you know, get real. And I always like to, y'all know that, keep it real with y'all. And you know, so I want to pair some life truth with what's been on the pod and kind of the pod theme forever. Really long-term vision beats short-term gain, okay? So long-term vision, I always say, beats short-term gain. I've been preaching this at length. Y'all know this. Realistically, the long-term always is going to beat the short-term wins. This applies to investing. It applies to life. Y'all know the drill from past episodes. We've said it again at length, right? Y'all probably tired of me saying it, but I ain't gonna stop saying it, man, because again, that's the vision. That's what it is. But the lesson within that, guys, that you also have to understand, and that I'm, learning the hard way is while you're grinding to elevate your life and future, it's easy to lose sight of what you already have, and what you already have developed for yourself, how much you've already grown, where you're already at, the things you already have, where you used to be versus where you're at now. And you got to stay grateful, like real talk, recognize the quality moves you've made, recognize the growth moves that you've stacked, and recognize most of all the people, who make your life what it is at the end of the day. I get lost in that a lot, and I don't want any of y'all as you listen to get lost in, forgetting and beginning to not appreciate those that are around you, and why your life is so special. Your life is so special because of what you've done, because of the life you've built, because of the people that are around you. And you can't lose sight of those sort of things when you're in this grind mentality, like I always, preach to you guys to be at the end of the day, because it's the only way to get up out and have a better life for yourself at the end of the day, and not just be, a nobody, be a somebody to at least your family, to at least your friends. This is the way to do it. But again, you got to be grateful, man. I've said it before, and I'm doubling down on it. Really, nothing like replaces those people and that growth that you have made. Like the people that you have come into contact with and that are in your life along your journey, and the moves that you have made. Like I'll double and triple down on that and say every time, like nothing can replace that. But right, like I dropped this gem back on episode it was like episode 3, maybe episode 4, about just showing genuine gratitude, like to the universe. And if you do not show genuine gratitude to the universe, it will punish you. Like whatever you believe, religious, not religious, I don't care. Like the universe will punish you if you don't show genuine gratitude and you're not doing the things that you need to do. And for those that haven't, go back to episode 4, listen close, take this to heart. Like, mistakes happen, but repeating the same mistakes, the same ones, bro, like that's on you. Like that's a you decision. Even my boy said, like, my boy Joe said, when we did a pod last, about a year or so ago, he said, like, out of the 10 last bad fucking things that have happened to you in your life, like, you're saying there's nothing you could have done better to make that not happen, right? But at the end of the day, you didn't. And so you can't blame people, man. Words really don't mean jack. Actions do. And that's at the end of the day, all y'all got to do is show it. Just you can't just say it. Words aren't just enough. Actions are, at the end of the day, what speaks, and actions are what earns respect, and actions are what earns love, and actions are what earns support. So, again, as we continue on this journey, guys, with the long-term vision beating the short-term gain, still appreciate those short-term wins when you're in the moment. Still appreciate those people that are with you in those short-term wins and that are really there for you and value you, because losing that is something that can really just like shake you up and fuck everything up for you. Like everything you thought you had going on for you, it can twist that shit up, and I don't want y'all to ever feel like that. So, I love y'all, man. Keep being great, of course. Keep trying to be great. That's at the end of the day all we can do. Keep being the best you that you can to, your family, your friends, and show more love, more appreciation for your family, your friends, and and where you're at right now, just in life in general, man. That's the biggest thing. Like losing all that, again, it can be devastating. It can knock you off, man. So I love y'all. I want y'all to focus up. I hope y'all take to heart what I just said, because it's very important for us to all take this to heart, and again have that in the mirror conversation with ourselves about the reality of our own actions and where we're at and what we need to do to progress, but also continue to celebrate the life that we do have, because the life we have, guys, at the end of the day is a life, and that's a blessing in itself. So I appreciate y'all tuning in as always, man. Y'all know I love y'all. It's your boy out here, CJ the DJ. We out.